So this video is going to explain the second and third part of the Building the City project. If you have not done part one, you're going to want to go back to the week 2 folder. And in the week 2 folder, you'll find the Building a City intro and part one. And that is where you should begin. So make sure that you've done this part. And this explains, excuse me, this explains that entire part. So we are going to, though, today be looking at part 2 and then part 3. So part 2 is your map of your city. So in your first part, you were supposed to do some planning and some brainstorming and some intro questions. Now you are going to be actually drawing out your city. So once again, the overall premise is that you've been asked to design a city in an underdeveloped region of the country in order to attract people to this region. So you are from here then going to be drawing a map. And so you'll be building your city that includes the features listed below. You have a couple options. You can hand draw this and take a picture of it and then insert it below. You could do it in Kami, or if you have another digital tool in which you like to draw, but it does need to be hand drawn. So it can't be something that you found obviously on the internet. So your city is going to have these particular features. And if I'll give you some examples as well, but you are going to have some physical features, so like rivers, lakes, oceans, mountains, a central business district, a commercial zone, industrial zone, and residential zone. And so I will, in a moment here, attach the presentation that goes through each of those zones. But in the previous video, I did go through and explain what each of these meant. So I'll attach this here into this document as well. But you need to have a central business district. You need to have commercial zones, industrial zones, residential zones. And then you need to have a mixed land use zone, which is another zone that we talked about in the last video. And then finally, you need to have at least 3 other unique features. And then you also need to have a feature related to sustainability. So I'm going to talk about that one right now. So a feature related to sustainability means that you need to choose kind of one of these. If you look at this presentation, one of these urban sustainability methods. So either walkable neighborhoods, transit-oriented development, or community gardens and urban farming. So you're going to need to make sure you add that to your building. All of these questions were questions that you should be able to have a little bit of a plan already because you did part 1. So I'm going to give you a couple of examples of prior work. So these are all ones that were done digitally, but you can also, like I said, draw it out and then take a picture of it. Not all these are the perfect ones, but this person drew out a map of their city. They had rivers. They had a name for their city. They had different features, and then they have a key. So because you're drawing a map, you're going to want to have a key to your map. This one doesn't have a key, but I noted that there. So you can color code different zones of your city. Actually, this one was drawn out, looks like, and you got some pictures of it. So you'll see a couple of examples, and you're going to go from there. So that is what you're going to do. You're going to insert your picture here. So for the second part, now for the third part, so that was part 2. And part 3 is your written description. So now your final part of the project is to write a description of your city. And there are, you're going to write 2 to 3 paragraphs, basically telling the story of your city. So you want to write it in a kind of a narrative form, but you're going to want to explain the layout of your city, the industries of your city, where do people work? So like what are the major industries? Do they make something? Do there certain types of factories? Is it focused on banking or finances? What are some of the must-sees in your city? And how does your city promote sustainability? So choose your paragraphs on that. Reach out to me if you have any questions, but that is the final part of this assignment.